It's News 360 live from Adesawe Kanda here in Accra. Good evening and welcome. My name is Aisha Yakubu Hali.
And I am Martin Esiedu Date. Here are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Escalating crisis in Bawku as security agencies attempt to control tension in the area following sustained gunfire since Saturday evening.
Also this evening, members of pressure group Democracy Hub expected to petition Parliament to institute an inquiry into the conduct of the Ghana police during three-day anti-Galamsey protest.
Minister of Finance Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam says Sunon Asogli Power Limited acted in bad faith by shutting down its operations.
Also coming up, we take you to Boachipe, located in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region, where the chips compound remains closed after over 2 years.
And in international news, a senior UN official in Sudan says she's deeply troubled by reports of atrocious killing in Sudan's central Gezira state, including the mass killing of civilians.
We have details of all these stories and more. Be part of the show. Let's hear what you make of our stories that we have for you tonight.
There has been sustained gunfire in Bawku in the Upper East region since Saturday evening and continuing into today, Sunday. Some casualties have been reported in the incidents. Security agencies have been actively working to contain the situation. The long-standing chieftaincy conflict in the area has escalated after the return of a rival chief to the area, Alhaji Seidu Abagri, who had been in exile since his installation in February 2023 in Nalergu, returned to Bawku after a Kumasi High Court quashed his arrest warrant on October 17, 2024. His return reignited the dispute and led to gunfire exchanges on Saturday, October 26. Meanwhile, the NDC parliamentary candidate for Binduri, Sifu Mahmoud, has announced the suspension of his campaign due to the volatile situation. Let's get the latest from our Upper East correspondent, Castro Senyala, who has joined us via Zoom. Castro, good evening to you. What more can you report on this?
Good evening, Aisha. Bawku is currently very tensed up. It is very volatile as security experts, security heads in the area that I've been speaking with. They've been describing that things are very, very bad. They've gotten out of hand. There have been a number of attacks on vehicles, on persons, and it is getting scarier by the day. So as we speak now, the town is empty. The curfew hours, though, are yet to reach. That is 8 o'clock, but already the streets of Bawku have been deserted, painting a picture of emptiness and people hiding in their rooms for fear of the unknown, following gunshots since Thursday to Friday, yesterday and today.
We understand that some casualties have been reported. Do we know how many?
Aisha, we're very careful as to putting out numbers that may be conflicting, because security agencies have not been able to specifically give me the number of casualties, though they understand that there have been some very serious casualties. They haven't been able to get the specific number because the things happen. I mean, some of these casualties happen in areas that cannot easily be accessed, areas that you least expect that some of these things will happen. But then the main focus is that they're doing their best to ensure that some of the casualties or some of the incidents do not escalate into full-blown chaos, which may be very, very bad as far as maintaining peace in the area is concerned.
Castro, we are also told that the police barracks in the area have come under attack. What do you know about that?
Yes, so I have been in close touch with the police heads within the Upper East region, who have been telling me that yes, indeed, they have been attacked by some armed group of men who were advancing towards their facility, that's their barracks. It appears that the police is doing too much, and this group is not happy about what is happening, and so they are advancing towards the barracks. They first of all pulled down a wall and fired into the barracks. But the police, as trained as they have always been, led by the Upper East Regional Police Commander, DCOP Raymond Wejungdufiem, have been able to ward them off. And then the men in the housing have quickly been, in that particular unit that has been attacked, have been evacuated to safety. But they are still in the Bawku area, helping the other security agencies to maintain law and order.
Thank you very much, Castro, for your updates from Bawku. Castro Senyala is our Upper East Regional Correspondent.
Very unfortunate developments from Bawku, but we'll keep close eyes on that for you. Away from Bawku now, the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has criticized management of Sunon Asogli Power Plant for acting in bad faith following the shutting down of the plant over ECG debt of some $259 million. Finance Minister, at a media briefing as part of the IMF World Bank annual meeting, said an agreement with the company will be signed in the coming days, leading to the debt settlement.
Asogli submitted a final agreement for our review. We've reviewed it and we are fine with it, except one issue which led to them shutting down. I did not want to talk about it, but because they issued a statement, let me also provide some further information on this. So when the Ministry for Finance did one-off payments to all the IPPs, we're supposed to pay Asogli $30 million. Later on, subsequently, they made a case for another $30 million. But we did not agree to that. So when we finalized the negotiation with them on the arrears, ECG actually led the negotiation. And as part of the settlement, ECG wanted us to pay the $30 million they made a case for, which we did not agree as part of the settlement. And so I had meetings with Asogli, and we agreed that we will pay. But we wanted them to sign the settlement agreement because this is one of the terms of the agreement. They said, no, we should pay before they sign. But if it is part of the settlement agreement, why should I implement an agreement that has not been signed? And so we communicated this to Asogli, only for Asogli to come and say they no longer want 30 million, now they want 60 million. And if we don't pay them 60 million, they will shut down. That is why they shut down. Right. And so people behave as if we as a country, we don't know our rights. And so by going ahead to shut down, they acted in bad faith. This is not how partners work together, particularly when it involves financial negotiations. So they shut down. We continue to produce power. I was informed only yesterday that they are ready to sign the settlement agreement. And so we've instructed ECG to go ahead and sign. That should help in normalizing our relationship so we can move on. And so by signing that agreement will also mean that the third IPP is also done as far as the restructuring is concerned.
Right, so that's Ghana's Finance Minister, Mohamed Amin Adam, Doctor. So let's speak to my colleague, Abdul Rahman Sani, who is currently in the United States of America and has been following Ghana's engagements, following the IMF World Bank meeting in the US. Sani, thank you for joining us. First of all, tell us generally how Ghana's engagement has been.
Well, essentially, Ghana came to the meeting in good spirits, led by the Finance Minister and Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, with two objectives. The first objective being to advance the debt conversation. You are aware the government is trying to wrap up with the external debt restructuring. As we speak, 93% of that exercise has been completed. We are left with the commercial bilateral bondholders that the government is engaged in, not a huge portfolio, but quite critical to wrapping up this exercise. So that conversation has been ongoing. The second objective has been to tell the international community that Ghana is ready to receive their investment because of the exercise that has been completed. They are trying to signal the market that Ghana is ready for some foreign direct investment, which of course would have a lot of impact on the economy, on the positively. So that has been the engagement so far the finance minister has been holding. He's trying to tell the market that, hey, we are returning to the pre-pandemic levels, and if you want to return to the Ghanaian economy, the door is open, but they are being quite cautious because they don't want to encounter the debt problem I'm referring to, that to this economic meltdown that we have been experiencing in the last 2 or 3 years.
Right, Sani, we also know that the finance minister has been commenting on the performance of the cedi. Maybe we'll listen to him briefly and come and wrap up with you. Just stay with us.
Stabilized for some time now. Over the last 1 month or so, we've seen relative stability in the cedi. And we are determined to continue to stabilize the cedi. The worry by many people is that demand for forex will increase as we go closer to Christmas. And I can tell you that the Bank of Ghana has accumulated significant reserves to meet the demand. We also know that the IMF, after the board approval on the 2nd of December, will disburse $360 million to Ghana. We are working with the World Bank also to disburse another $300 million under the DPO series. And so in addition to what the bank has already accumulated in reserves, we're expecting these flows, forex flows, which certainly will help in stabilizing the cedi further into next year, early next year.
Right. So, Sani, briefly, what has the response been from our bilateral and multilateral partners? Clearly, it's a hand-in-hand sort of agreement that we need to get their buy-in if we really, like you indicated, need to get the country on sound footing, the economy on sound footing. What has their reaction or responses been?
Well, Martin, the international community has incurred huge losses, just as we've seen on the domestic front with the domestic debt exchange program. The foreign bondholders have as well incurred huge losses to help Ghana achieve debt sustainability, which is part of the broader framework of the extended credit facility program that we have with the international community. They will want to see the macroeconomic gains being stabilized, government doing much to ensure fiscal stability, government not engaging in some sort of budget overruns, in engaging in a lot of expenses because of election, and they will want to retain power. So they've been sounding warning to the government. We have incurred losses just to help you come out of the economic storms that you have largely caused on yourselves. So do well to protect these macroeconomic gains so that you will not return in the next year or two asking us to incur losses on our investment, on our bonds that we have invested hugely in your economy just because you have messed up yourselves.
Thank you very much, Sani Abdul Rahman, for that succinct report. He's joining us from the U.S., where Ghana has been meeting with the IMF and World Bank, who are also helping us restructure and get our economy back on sound footing. Thank you, Sani Abdul Rahman.
And back here in Ghana, members of the pressure group Democracy Hub are expected to petition Parliament to institute an inquiry into the conduct of the police during the 3-day anti-Galamsey protest. The demonstration resulted in the arrest of over 50 protesters, with the lead convener detained for several days without bail. Speaking on TV3 Hot Issues, the policy strategy advisor for Democracy Hub, Oliver Baka-Vomawo, said that the police brutality and operations must be investigated.
The street protest against illegal mining, Galamsey, witnessed some scuffles between the police and protesters. Some protesters were arrested over what the police described as breaches of the Public Order Act. During the protest, the police simultaneously conducted a special operation across the capital, which organizers say was a deliberate move to frustrate their demands for urgent action from the government against Galamsey.
There's a reason why consistently, even though the law says notify the police for 5 days prior, we notify them 3 months prior. Because we're expecting consistent engagement. We're expecting that they disagree. I mean, as far as democracy in the country is concerned, the attitude is that no matter what happens, we're not going to allow them to protest. Now, on the second day, even when they issued that statement, I'm telling you, I personally called the lawyer and I called the regional command and I said, what we are reading from the statement we don't like. Let us have a dialogue as to how we can de-escalate the conversation.
Response?
Again, the conversation is that we have been authorized not to engage.
Considering the conditions some of the detained protesters endured in police custody and the manner in which some arrests were made, Bawku wants the police investigated.
Even for us at Democracy Hub, one of the things that we're going to be doing is petitioning Parliament for an inquiry to be conducted into the way in which the police conducted or misconducted themselves vis-a-vis young people who came up wanting to believe in our democracy.
The police have denied some claims leveled against them, but protesters say they deserve the right to demonstrate.
I think that it is reckless to deny citizens of their rights. I will do it today and I will do it ever consistently. And in fact, I will invite every citizen whose rights have been oppressed, whether you are subject to unlawful arrest or unlawful seizure of property, that you are constitutionally entitled to resist it. Don't look at the fact that the individuals who are involved in that are police officers. In fact, our anthem mandates us that those who are more likely to oppress us is those who must resist.
Oliver Bawku has been granted a 20,000 cedis bail with 2 sureties after 3 refusals. He has to report to the police twice a week. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
The health of over 1,500 women and children in Boachipe, located in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region, continues to hang in the balance as the only chips compound in the area has been closed for the past 2 years. In February 2022, healthcare providers at the Boachipe chips compound fled the facility following alleged attacks by gun-wielding residents who stormed the premises with the aim of shooting a staff member. Correspondent Nadra Mohammed has the rest of the story.
The Boachipe Community-Based Health Planning and Services CHIPS compound is the only health facility in the Boachipe electoral area, serving close to 2,000 residents. In 2022, the Central Gonja District Health Directorate announced the closure of the facility after a gun-wielding man allegedly stormed the premises to attack a staff member. Although the staff member managed to escape, he sustained injuries, raising tensions in the community. The situation led health authorities in the Central Gonja District to close the facility. The leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in the Central Gonja District subsequently issued a statement condemning the actions of the residents. They stated that no member of the association would report to work until their security was assured. 2.5 years later, the facility has yet to be reopened to residents. Mariama, a pregnant woman, shared her ordeal with the news team.
There are no legal health practitioners working in this clinic. Aside that, there are no means of transportation or communication. We plead with the authorities to help us with these legal health practitioners and also with educational institutions.
Dauda told the news team that he lost his brother halfway through his journey to Bipe Hospital.
I was called that my brother was sick, but there is no clinic here to give him the treatment he needs. The road network is also bad. Due to this, the sick person may even contract another sickness while being taken to a nearby clinic.
The assemblyman for the Boachipe electoral area, Mohammed Issa, says he has made several attempts to resolve the issue, but the health directorate remains adamant.
After the incident, we tried to resolve the issue. By then, the issue was reported to the police station, and the police also followed. By the time they came to the community already, the culprit has left the scene. So up to now, we are not being able to arrest the culprit.
Efforts to get comments from the Central Gunja District Directorate and the District Chief Executive on the matter yielded no positive results.
Let's now turn our attention to education. Students have to shoulder the burden of education as the pursuit for knowledge comes with certain sacrifices. The habit of carrying heavy backpacks on their backs has become a familiar norm, yet this practice may lead to significant health challenges in the near future. Safo Abuahi interacts with some students, teachers and parents to understand the situation and explore potential solutions.
It is a mundane activity for students or pupils to report to school in the early hours of the day with bulging backpacks that seem to grow heavier with each passing year. Well, for these young learners, the daily journey to school is not just about education, but it is consciously or unconsciously a struggle against physical burden.
I interacted with some basic pupils in Accra, and this is what they have been telling me.
I have 20 exercise books and 4 notebooks.
20 exercise books? Why? What do you use the exercise books for?
I've written in some, and some are for extra.
My bag is heavy, sometimes it's not. I sometimes put in books that will be needed aside our timetable. So some of the books normally include storybooks.
My bag is really heavy because of the timetable. It doesn't favor us at all. We have 8 subjects in a day, and I have to bring those 8 subjects with jotters.
I am in basic 4C. I'm 9 years.
Why is it heavy like that?
Please, because we are always learning and we have to bring the books.
Some of the pupils want certain logistics provided.
I get pains in my back. I can't sit for long. I advise that the school management should provide a lot of locker rooms for us to keep our notebooks.
I feel backaches and it's quite unbearable. I'd like them to provide lockers so that we don't have to bring all our books to school.
The size of our notes are big, so they should print the notes for us so that the weight will come down.
Parents expressed concern about the situation and its visible effects on their children.
My children used to complain that they have pains at their back when they come to the house. I was very worried, but later I realized that the school has put measures in place to reduce the number of books they carry every day to school.
My child complains of back pain after school. I tell her to carry fewer books, but she needs them for different subjects. I've noticed her posture is affected by the heavy backpack.
But sometimes
some teachers agreed it is a daily struggle for the pupils, but acknowledge there are challenges.
Our place is not well secure. We advise the children to take their books to the house, and then when they are coming, they also bring it back. So perhaps that's the reason why most of them carry this load of bags at their back. We know it can affect their posture in future, but we have no other option.
We decided to reduce the size of their notebooks from 80 leaves. We brought it to 60 leaves so that it will not be too heavy for them. We've also made sure that the children always have the timetable for each day.
But what are the health implications?
It is best when the child carry a bag which weighs 10% of his or her weight. When you grow, as you age, you get to a point that the spine actually degenerates. They lose their strength, they lose their form. And sometimes these things are precipitated when you are young. You actually did take care of your spine. Even if they have to send all the books to school, not all of them should be in the bag. You can also put some in a bag that the person can hold.
The onus therefore lies on parents and school authorities to ensure the health of the children are protected for a healthier future. Safo Abuahi, TV3 News, Accra.
On to some great news now, and Media General Ghana has been honored with the prestigious Media Organization of the Year award at the 7th Ghana Business Awards. The award is a testament to Media General's unwavering commitment to excellence and professionalism in the media industry and highlights its significant contribution to the growth of the media landscape in Ghana.
The Ghana Business Awards celebrate excellence across all sectors, recognizing outstanding company performance.
Media Organization of the Year, and the winner is Media General.
Group Chief Executive of Media General Beatrice Ajiman was honored as Female CEO of the Year for her leadership and impact in the media industry. She expressed gratitude to her dedicated team for this achievement and emphasized the importance of consistency within the organization. Media General is committed to fostering business development and supporting local talent. The awards serve as a challenge to continue delivering compelling content, advocating for the voiceless, and holding duty bearers accountable. Media General prioritizes innovation and audience engagement, ensuring its relevance in a dynamic media landscape. Koa Mixture was awarded the Herbal Product of the Year at the 7th Ghana Business Awards. Founder of Koa Mixture and President General of the Center of Awareness Global Peace Mission, Professor Samuel Atodankan expressed his heartfelt gratitude to Ghana Business Awards for the recognition and the general public for making Koa #1.
We have adopted the best practices in manufacturing herbal products. So it is not far from the truth if we have been recognized as the product of the year. And our products are doing very, very well on the markets.
Professor Samuel Atodankan was also adjudged the Social Entrepreneur of the Year.
Big congrats to the team, big congrats to Media General, but a big thank you to you for continuing to make us numero uno. You're still watching News 360. Stay with us. We have more for you right after this.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from unique natural herbs to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, these MPP guys, them finish us.
Mo, why they lament like that?
Mauli, you know they Ghana. The MPP tell we say that they can't protect the public purse. The purse safe, then TIFA, I want to protect the purse. Corruption, left, right, front, center. I not see some before.
This matter you want to talk for here. It turned one day one corruption scandal. PDS, Ejapa, Skytrain, COVID, stolen excavators. God save them take do them. See the National Cathedral. We for collect all one money from them.
Boys, boil up. You guys for cool down. See, we go recover all our stolen funds when John Mahama comes to power.
In this Ghana, how you go do it?
Operation Recover All Loot. Oral for short. John Mahama go investigate all cases of corruption. Then prosecute all those found culpable. Then retrieve all one stolen assets and funds. They take develop this country.
Shut up! Those way they run the public purse, where they steal one lands, they destroy one water bodies on top. Where they walk about, they tell we say make we vote for them, no. We for jail them all. Or they come like a kite.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New Soft Care Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
Soft Care. Protect your leap.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia #1 on the ballot.
Thank you for staying with us on your Election Command Center. Let's now do some politics. Patricia Tremantin, wife of Independent presidential candidate Alan Tremantin of the Movement for Change, has issued a strong warning to voters, stating that the country will face further decline and hardship if they do not vote for her husband on December 7. During a tour of the Greater Accra region, she spoke with Joseph Armstrong, asserting that her husband's integrity is unmatched compared to candidates from the other two major political parties who have failed this country.
Patricia Tremantin first visited the Adan Junction Market in Adan East constituency. She and her team later moved to Adan Riverbank, Aklabanya in Adan West, then to Old Ningo, New Ningo, and finally to Prampram in the Ningo Prampram constituency. Speaking with TV3, Patricia Tremantin said Ghanaians will learn a bitter lesson if they fail to vote for Alan.
This election is a three-horse race. Now tell me, which of the three would you choose? And so, if Ghanaians do not choose him, I am saying it again, I have said it several times, Ghanaians will regret it, because out of these three people, Alan stands in a class apart. He is a complete mold. He is a super gem. He is knowledgeable. He is a visionary par excellence. And what the icing on the cake is, he has integrity of the highest order.
She noted that her husband is the only candidate with integrity among all the presidential hopefuls.
If you want this country to develop, if you want this country to stand in a class apart, if you want this country to be on the same level and on a pedestal, we have to vote Alan.
We have to vote Alan.
We have to vote Alan. We must vote Alan. We should most vote Alan. And I know that the good people of this country will vote Alan John Kojo Tremantin.
So that is the wife of John Alan Kojo Tremantin speaking out there that Ghanaians will have so much regret should they fail to vote for John Alan Kojo Tremantin come December 7th. For her, integrity is a reason why Ghanaians should vote for her husband, John Alan Kojo Tremantin. Joseph Armstrong, Go TV3, Adam.
From the camp of the butterfly, let's go to that of the elephant. And the wife of the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Hajia Samira Bawumia, has emphasized the need for the Ghanaian people to vote for Dr. Bawumia, indicating that the ongoing Agenda 111 Hospitals initiative across the country is a game changer in the health sector. Speaking to nursing students at the Kwembe Nursing and Midwifery Training College in the Salaga South constituency of the Savannah region, Hajia Samira reiterated that a vote for Dr. Bawumia and the NPP is a vote for jobs.
Hajia Samira Bawumia began her tour of the Savannah region in the Damango constituency, where she interacted with the Fulbi community. She later engaged with constituents in the Yape Kusogu constituency, Salaga South and Salaga North constituencies, while interacting with students of the Kwembe Nursing and Midwifery Training College in Salaga. Hajia Samira encouraged the students to vote massively for the NPP.
Today, thanks to the government of the New Patriotic Party, under the leadership of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our president, and Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we are building 111 hospitals, 101 districts, 6 regional hospitals, psychiatric hospitals. As a trainee, ask yourself what that means. That means as soon as you've opportunities for your future. So please, on December 7th, it is that future we are voting for.
The Member of Parliament for Damango, Samuel Abu Jinapo, intimated that politics is about development and not just plenty of talk. The delegation also paid a courtesy call on the paramount chief of the Kwembi traditional area, Kwembiwura Bambange and the Fuso the Fourth.
So you are most welcome to my kingdom. I don't need to talk much. We know what is already existing here. We know what we are supposed to do. We don't need to make noise. The next time we'll see you in this hall, we are going to let everybody know that the D is in the house. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Alma Pokua Adade Prempeh, wife of NPP vice presidential candidate Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has promised hawkers at the Jolu traffic lights loans to invest in their businesses. During her tour of some streets in Accra, she encouraged the hawkers to vote massively for the new patriotic party on December 7.
You are my target. I have you all at heart. We appreciate your efforts as traders. I am ready to give all the support you need to make your lives better. Someday, your works as traders will be appreciated. On 7th December, do not forget to vote number 1 to continue with the good work.
But one time the person make a tremor say, because
campaign is clearly intensifying now. All family members are joining in. Let's stay in the camp of the NPP because its presidential candidate, that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has promised people of Nkwanta North of establishing a nursing training college in the area. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was addressing party supporters at Nkwanta North as part of his tour of the OT region.
The NPP presidential candidate has been in the OT region over the last few days after concluding a tour of the Volta region. With all 8 parliamentary seats currently held by the NDC, the NPP hopes to turn things around in the upcoming polls. Addressing party faithfuls at Nkwanta North as part of his tour of the OT region, NPP presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia assured of establishing a nursing training college in the area. He also assured of providing funding sources to spearhead apprenticeships in the constituency and the entire country. Meanwhile, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has assured the chiefs, Muslim clerics and traditional leaders of Nkwanta North of fixing their roads.
Pastor Sakasa, Nananoma Kasa, Imam Sakasa, Omose, Damango Pasar Roadi, Damango Oti, Nkwanta Roadi, Eno, Adia, Ehamupa.
I understand that building roads is a top priority for you, and I promise to construct them when given the opportunity.
In 4 years' time, just a major who says, a very first class, before Mebaha.
I will ensure that I am held accountable for my work and will report back to you on my progress when I return. The NPP has been actively engaging locals to drum home the party's achievements over the last 8 years.
Still on elections, Paramount Chief and President of the Bupe Traditional Council, Bupewura Abdullahi Jinapo II, has appealed to Muslim youth not to allow themselves to be used to incite violence in the upcoming general elections. In an address delivered on his behalf by his secretary, Neripeura Pamphia Gibson, the Bipeura, encouraged the people of the northern regions to resist political manipulation and instead serve as ambassadors of peace.
As the December 7th elections draw closer, Bupeura Jinapor II emphasized that the outcome of the 2024 elections will represent a victory not just for Ghana, but also for the northern regions.
My sons and daughters from the north, election 2024 is barely 2 months ahead of us. The outcome of the election will be a victory for Ghana and the north. I want to appeal to all sons and daughters of the north not to allow yourselves for politicians to use you to distract election 2024. Let us be crusaders and ambassadors for peaceful, free, fair, and transparent election without any dent in image and integrity of the north.
In an address delivered on his behalf at the 2024 Greater Accra Gonja Community Damba celebration, he called on the Electoral Commission to uphold Ghana's democratic values by ensuring a credible and transparent election process.
Let us ensure that our electoral process reflects our commitment to democracy, free from conflict and division. We must stand together to uphold the principles of peace and justice.
The Buperia commended two prominent northern politicians, former President John Dramani Mahama and Vice President Dr. Bawumia, who are running for the presidency. Speaking on behalf of the former president, the National Campaign Manager for the National Democratic Congress, Professor Joshua Alabi, reassured everyone of the NDC's commitment to peace before, during and after the polls. The December 7th polls will be Ghana's 9th successful general elections since the adoption of the 1992 Constitution.
Now, the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says the recent declaration of 4 parliamentary seats as vacant by Speaker Alban Bagbin, along with the subsequent directive by the Supreme Court, has heightened the need to review the Ghanaian constitution. John Mahama made these remarks as the guest speaker at the 80th anniversary of the St. Joseph the Worker Anglican Church in Accra.
Joseph the Worker Anglican Church marked 80 years of growth and sustaining the kingdom of God. Diocesan Bishop of the Anglican Church in Accra, Right Reverend Dr. Daniel Silvanus Mensah Torto, emphasized the need for attitudinal change for positive transformation of the country. He also spoke about the upcoming December 7 polls.
Ghanaians, don't be anxious about elections. It will come only a day, then that is it. But let the peace of God reign in our hearts wherever we find ourselves.
The special guest of honor, who is also the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, commended the church for its role in nation building, while emphasizing the need to reset the country from its current state.
Our democracy is in crisis. We speak to many of our young people, and they say they don't have any faith in democratic governance anymore. You talk to them and say, I don't see why the soldiers don't come and take over and, govern the country. It's because their faith in our democracy is going down and down. And that is because our democratic practice is not creating enough opportunity for our young people. And so we need a renewal, we need a reset, we need a restart.
The former president reiterated the need to review the 1992 Constitution, praising Speaker Alban Bagbin for his handling of the recent tense situation in Parliament.
Our governance is in crisis. Recently, you saw what happened in Parliament. We almost had a constitutional crisis. But for the mature handling of the Speaker in suspending the House, there could have been a clash between the judiciary and our Parliament. So our governance is in crisis. We need to reset, we need to restart, we need to look at our Constitution again, we need to revise it and plug the loopholes and make it clearer, so that in future we don't have the kinds of issues that we have.
The St. Joseph the Worker Anglican Church also recognized members. Media General was also honored by the church for the role it has played in ensuring unbiased reporting and transmission of programs.
We celebrate your professionalism, integrity, and commitment to excellence. May this recognition inspire continued excellence in broadcasting. This is to Media General.
For over 27 years that we have existed as a media organization, we have used our platforms to entertain, to advocate, to inform the public. And today we have been recognized and we are so grateful.
Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, congratulations to us once again. This is News360. We have some sports news coming up next. Please stay with us.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
We asked the children, how many of you brushed this morning? And this little boy, his hand didn't go up. And I said, well, why didn't you brush this morning? He said, my brother was using the toothbrush. If I'd waited for him, I would have been late for school. I'm sorry, I get a bit emotional when it comes to that. To be able to change a child's life, to be able to bring back that confidence about their smile, for me, is phenomenal.
This advert is FDA approved.
Darling natural twists blend with her hair over time.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twists get better every day, just like you.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawku #1 on the ballot.
Colgate Herbal is formulated from unique natural herbs to strengthen teeth and keep gums healthy. Try Colgate Herbal, scientifically proven for strong teeth and healthy gums. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News360. My name is Bawku. Now on to our first story. Hearts of Oak suffered their third defeat of the season, falling 1-0 to league leaders BBN Gold Stars on Sunday at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. Hearts, who had rebounded from 2 early losses with a 6-game unbeaten run including 4 draws, were dealt a setback at home. Gold Stars extended their lead at the top to 3 points after Asante Kotoko were held to a 1-1 draw by Basake Holy Stars. Kotoko took the lead in the 36th minute through Albert Amwa, but the home side equalized, leaving Kotoko reliant on an upcoming match against Legon Cities on Wednesday to potentially catch up. Still on the Hearts of Oak defeat, fans at the University of Ghana Stadium expressed anger after the game.
The match able you lose versus main gate now you lose match. Gate now lose. Meanwhile, when say member pack, they suppose them member pack. Meanwhile, you I'm going gate for the suppose them. One make it say match able
and there are some people they have to sack them. If you want to sack them, they say no. Some of the supporters, because they will go and take money and put there. When they are saying the truth, they don't want to. The players doesn't have a problem. The players, I'm telling you, it's not about coach problem. It's not about Hans problem. It's a spiritual problem. I'm telling you. Match for football, what I say, mistake. Match but goes into what I say.
It's difficult to actually compare it because I haven't watched how to football compared to this current how to football players. It's actually difficult to understand that this is Accra as a football. Chama, me team there in your prayer. Ya je politic amount. Politic na jama coach na church say na embo politic. Coach na church say na embo politic. Enti say na ebobo. Enti say who bobo. Now I mistake unu say. Ese so e ma prayer na nko because who ma prayer na nko obese go because why don't watch it.
When they are but chances na yes say chances no. By bomb pass na ya bomb pass next time na we the way my can because
Oh, the performance is bad, but as a player, after you break back to your opponent,
we get the penalty, we lost. This time we can't blame the coach.
And then the Nigerian because we are with a team passing about 3 points. If you never find the Nigerian Yaka, we can't say a coach from Pomaso. On you know who can the eternity. I can't be about fast agility about it, but I was saying.
You with the Nigerian Empire, I'm very fans. Any supporters will be too much back. In this, the Nigerian
In the Wafu Under-20 Ghana's Under-20 side, the Black Satellites secured their place in the final of the ongoing competition after beating Ivory Coast by 2-1. Jerry Afriye's We'll end with the Premier League where Mohamed Salah scored a late goal 9 minutes from time as against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Meanwhile, Chelsea bounced back to winning ways after last weekend's 2-1 loss to Liverpool with a 2-1 victory over Newcastle United at Stamford Bridge. Elsewhere, Manchester United's struggles continued as a late Jarrod Bowen penalty condemned United to their 4th defeat of the season.
Scott's got to be careful. Bukayo Saka! One chance, one goal! Put in by Alexander-Arnold. Good flick of the front post. Van Dijk puts it in. Deloney sends it in. Brilliant delivery! Now this could be a chance. Darwin Núñez is onside. He's got Salah infield of him. Mo Salah must be!
If Neto gets there first, which he does. Jackson scored.
Barnes playing in. Hall, and there is Isaac. 1-1, bundled in from the closest. And this man in full flow as well. It's Palmer!
That area. Bowen. And bundled in by Crescencio Somerville. Ahmad. Sexy. It's been headed. Who's going to keep that nerve?
It's Bowen.
Again, Munoz with the ball in.
There's an opportunity for Mateta. Palace lead. The big call to bring him back ahead of Eddie Nketiah. They're almost there.
That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. Up next on the bulletin is entertainment.
Segment is brought to you by Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
The grand finale of the culinary battle, Kitchen Wars, is just around the corner. 4 schools have secured their spots in the finals following an intense semi-final episode marking the culmination of an exciting season.
Excitement filled the air as schools showcased their culinary talents at the semi-finals of Kitchen Wars. With only 2 spots available in the finals, competitors brought their A-game. St. Peter's Old Boys faced off against Ola Girls, Yasantua and Infantapim Old Boys in a thrilling showdown that tested their skills in the kitchen. The semi-final presented new challenges.
What's going on here? It smells very nice.
So this is a Napolitan sauce.
Napolitana?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then these are potatoes with the Napolitano.
But after hours of intense cooking, it was Yasantua and Infantapim Old Boys who emerged victorious, securing their places in the grand finale.
With 250 points. Walking gloriously and majestically to the grand finale with poise and with style, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Antoine! Yes, Antoine! Yes, Antoine! Give it up, give it up, give it up!
And that one point was that sauce. You see how one little element of your dish can change it. If you can produce these dishes at the final, you're there. Definitely. So now when you do, go back, think, play this as your B game. Now I want to see the next level.
Once you are going to the finals, what you have here or what you've done here, each person is going to learn a top notch of that. So it's a different ball game altogether. But well done, and still bring that A game also again.
In an exciting twist, 4 schools will now compete for culinary supremacy in the grand finale of Kitchen Wars. Who will take home the bragging rights as a school with the best cooks? Join us to cheer for your favorite school, enjoy thrilling games, chant Jama, and relive unforgettable memories from back in the day.
Tell me what you're cooking. Hey, I'm not
You're still watching News 360. Let's find out what's happening on the international front.
A senior UN official in Sudan says she is deeply troubled by reports of atrocious crimes in the central Garissa state, including mass killing of civilians by the paramilitary rapid support forces. Clementine Nkwinta Salami's comments came after an activist group said that at least 124 people were killed by the RSF in attacks on villages over the past week. The RSF has denied targeting civilians, saying its fighters were clashing with militias armed by the military. The conflict in Sudan broke out in April 2023 after a fallout between the commanders of the RSF and military, Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo and Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, respectively. The 18-month conflict in Sudan has killed tens of thousands of people and displaced more than 11 million. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Israeli attack against Iran was precise and powerful and achieved all its objectives. Israel's strikes were in retaliation for an October 1 attack by Iran, which fired about 200 missiles at Israel, though most were intercepted by the country's air defenses. Netanyahu also spoke about how Israeli military operations have weakened the abilities of Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon to act as Iranian proxies against Israel. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei says the Israeli airstrikes, which hit Tehran and other areas on Friday night, must neither.
Well, this is how we bring the bulletin to an end, but you'd also need to be aware of the fact that you need to follow us on our various social media platforms. And those of you on Instagram, if you want your pictures and videos of quality talking about what's happening in Ghana and around the world, that's the handle, 3news.gh on Instagram. And you'll definitely be part of those who know what's going on the move. So kindly follow, and we'll definitely update you as and when any new information becomes available.
Thank you for joining us on News 360 this evening. There's more news on 3news.com. My name is Aisha Yakubu Hale.
And I am Martin Esiedu Date. Right after the program is Mentor.
Enjoy.